Right, Sunday, November the, what is it, 17th I believe, 2018, and I'm doing a local 10 miler, as you can see, Welwyn North, some of which I do believe I might have covered in the past on the Watton and Stone walk, but let's see. It's a lovely day, which is why I'm out today on a Sunday. Very rarely do weekends, but this is the last of the good weather for probably the next week, and possibly the last chance to get a taste of the autumn colours before they fall down this week, I believe. That's the Welwyn North Tunnel. Number of these tunnels around this area on the line to King's Cross. So it's about 12 o'clock. Got about 4 hours to walk and 4 hours of daylight. Sunset today about 16:09 I believe. So up against the clock as usual. Not to worry, let's make the most of it. Well, I got that wrong. It's the 18th today. It's a good start. Interesting, there's a little coffee house here that's open, surprisingly. Okay, so today I'm following a walk on OS Maps, and a serious lesson learnt here. OS Maps has a tendency, as I've now discovered, to collapse. It keeps saying it's offline, so consequently I can't follow OS Maps. I may well have to follow, luckily I've bought an ordinary OS map with me, but that's not very good. Okay, about 15 minutes into the walk, about 45 minutes since I got off the train. That's the famous Welwyn Viaduct. That's what causes all the timetabling problems, because you can only get 2 trains on it, north and south, and yet obviously the rest of the line is four lines wide. So that's why the timetable has to be adjusted accordingly, and you can only get so much capacity on this line. Anyway, OS Maps has crashed. I'm having to do this by guesswork and the OS map now. Not a good start. So, classic Hertfordshire countryside, cornfields, and in the distance there is the woodland that I think I might be walking through at some stage. I don't know really, because I've lost the walk now. Not much in the way of autumn colour over there. Might have missed it already. Decent incline here. Can't film any further to the right because of the sun. Now walking through a pleasant tree tunnel. As you can see, most of the leaves are already gone. They're on the deck already. Nah. Horses go left here, and what did I see halfway down there? Some lazy rider. There's hoof prints on that path, and of course the traditional manure. As usual, where the horses are, this has potential to be very muddy in wet weather. They absolutely decimate our footpaths. One thing I do recall from the map is that I'm headed towards Burnham Green, as opposed to the other options. I've just come from Digswell. So onward and upward through here. Bit of colour over the other side of the valley there, but generally speaking I think I've missed the boat. All happened in the recent winds, I think, last week. So just walking across Burnham Green, in the village of Burnham Green, and I'm now having to use the Pathwatch app which obviously has a very useful locate me element to it to find out where the hell I am. So in combination with my OS map, which is a 150 scale, not ideal either, but we're getting there. Now it looks to me like what used to be the pub, the White Horse, is being converted, unless I'm wrong. I'll soon find out, because I'm passing this way. Wonderful toadstool here. See it many times, I forget its name, but easy enough to identify on Google. 125 metre trig point there, and the White Horse is still here, so the other building must have been a knockdown and replacement. Now just behind the pub, branching off towards Coltsfoot Lane, now aiming for the village of Balls Green. Yeah, as I said in the past, quite bland countryside in Hertfordshire, probably because I live here. Quite sterile, devoid of life. As you can see, quite wooded round here. Very large fields though, no good for bird life. Distances are too great for them. Don't know if you can hear that in the background, but there's a very interesting songbird in there. Got no idea what that is. Now taking this footpath on my right as I walk up this lane in Balls Green, aiming to have my lunch in Bramfield because it's got a church. Plenty of warning notes here from that winter visitor that I again don't recognise. Sort of churring sound. You're never far from people's homes on this walk. This is the affluent area of Tewin, Welwyn North, etc. So, and Harmer Green. So Lewis Hamilton's family lived down in Tewin, I believe, ex-Stevenage residents. Lots of these little tree tunnels next to people's very large gardens. Very pleasant. Quite a decent vista here. Bit over the top. I would say so. Somebody there with a very large residence, probably got very large cars, very large dogs. So these same sort of people want to come out in the countryside, yet they pile it up with rubbish. Getting blown all over the shop. So there's forestry works going on here at the minute. Should be able to get out of here okay though. In fact, looking further at the notice, they ended in July, so months ago. Here we have a very pleasant mixed wood. I'm in the part of it that's given over to Scots pine at the moment. You can see by the carpet of leaves, we're in the beechwood section now, and I've missed the leaf colour here. Bricket groundwood, this is bricket groundwood on the map. We are, as I indicated, headed towards Watton Stone now, but we're going to branch off right shortly to go up towards the village of Bramfield up this road. In the Bramfield Woods at the Woodall estate. Okay, at this juncture, next to the gas pipeline there, do a right on the bridleway towards Brights Hill. Very pleasant autumnal afternoon it is. Of course, they just ignore that. Some old boy was on his bike here about half an hour ago. I could hear it, but that was when I was in the other wood. Still see his tyre tracks on the surface. Okay, almost 2:30. That's Bramfield Church, which doesn't appear to have any seats in the cemetery area, nor many headstones come to that. But luckily for me, there's a couple here on the village green, and I have been here before. Village hall behind me there, and the local pub, which is quite pricey if I recall, as you'd imagine round here. Today's lunchtime stop is benefacted by Mart Souls, I think that is. So 2 to 3, about an hour and a half of walking time left after my whistle stop break there. So I need to get my skates on. That was Bramfield. We're on the site here of West End Farm that used to be, per the OS map. Another farm gone. Tewin over there on my right. As I descend down yet another pleasant greenway. Tree tunnel. So Tewin has both a stores and a post office. A bit more than my local village, which only has half of that. Cross another village green with the Rose and Crown in the distance. Now on footpath 17 to Digswell, leaving Tewin. Interesting variation on the lock there. I've never seen that before, all these years of walking. Yeah, quite effective. Now I've got the wide open spaces. Sun's setting low now. About half hour to go till sunset. Okay, we do a right here in that direction on a nicely clinkered surface. Moon's just popped out, 2/3 of it. It's going to be a cold night tonight, I'd guess. Not a cloud in the sky at the moment anyway, and likely fog in the morning, as we had this morning. Although if the temperature drops, that won't happen. One final section of woodland walking as the gloom starts to set in and the rooks start to congregate. Decent view there in the setting sun. And from a slightly different angle. But there's some lovely colours there about a fortnight back. So we come out in Digswell and there's a good image of the viaduct with my rail line above it. Okay, 4 o'clock or thereabouts. I've beaten sunset by a few minutes but missed the train by the looks of it. Got a half-hour wait now. Anyway, not to worry. Decent walk that, surprisingly so for Hertfordshire. 8.7 miles, 3 hours 12 minutes. So yeah, nice little leg stretcher for a Sunday. I even see England won, Harry Kane again. Anyway, that was a pleasant enough walk, one of my own devised that. Lots of greenways, etc. Not too much leaf colour though, missed that. So until the next time, cheers.